Welcome to On Air with Kate Butler, where we are revealing life's best kept secrets. Welcome back to On Air with Kate Butler. I am your host, and I am here today with a wildly inspirational guest. We are here to talk about belief in yourself, believing beyond. We are here to talk about worthiness. We are here to talk about how you take that spark that is inside of yourself and you use that spark to impact your world, the world, and let's just see how far that can go today. I think that should be our plan. And so I would like to formally introduce our guest, Erin McCahill. Erin McCahill is a powerhouse of transformation, both in business and in life. As the founder of McCahill Collective, she leads with purpose and strategy, helping organizations and individuals unlock their full potential. And I just want to sink into that in a moment because isn't that why we are all here? And if we can use people like Erin along the way to just help us unlock the next step, unlock the next level, unlock the next thing, I think that that is really, truly why we are all here. She is a trailblazing leader in telecom technology and finance. She has a proven track record of turning struggling organizations into high performing cultures, delivering unmatched results and customer excellence. With a Bachelor of Science in Business Management and an MBA and numerous industry accolades, Erin is known for her ability to drive change and impact. That's what we're talking about here today. But beyond the boardroom, Erin is also a four-time #1 international best-selling author, a TEDx and international experiential speaker, and a fearless advocate for personal growth and resilience. Having overcome profound loss and domestic violence, she uses her story to empower others to push past limitations, dream bigger, and take bold action. Erin doesn't just speak, she ignites transformation and elevates experience. Erin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Kate, for having me today. I'm so grateful to be here and excited to dive in.
Yes, I am so excited to dive in. We set the tone today that this is really about believing beyond where you are in life right now. And I feel like, everybody goes through these seasons of life. Everyone goes through, uh, you know, um, you know, spring, winter, summer, and fall, if you will, right? And so tell us a little bit about your background, Erin, of what makes this so important for you, of all the things that you could be talking about today. Why this? Why is this so important that this is the topic that you feel like needs to be brought to the forefront?
So, we are in such a different place in this world today, right? There's a lot of unknown, a lot of being uncomfortable. And if I look back on my journey, I've had incredible experiences, not so incredible, and everything in between. And I am not supposed to be here today. I am a domestic violence survivor. I come from a very long way in my journey. And as I went through my journey, I realized that it's really important to share your story. It's
Mm.
important to be a guiding light for someone else. So, the purpose of being here and why I want to dive into this is that, yes, life can be really difficult, right? As you mentioned, there's seasons. Every second is a season. It's going to constantly change. It's how we decide to react and move forward during that season. And I learned along this way that life is like the beach. There are waves that are going to knock you down, some that are going to propel you forward, and you're going to have a great time and enjoy. But there's undercurrents that can sweep you away. And I have been caught up in undercurrents. And this happens when I get all off balance, when I'm not aligned with my checkpoint, and I don't believe. And it gets messy. And I want to get a message out there to everyone that we are all worthy, we are all worthy to be here. And it's important that we keep believing, and it just takes one step. And remember, the season will change, and it just takes one step.
Yes, it just takes one step. Okay, so before we get to really this essence of believing, right, and unpack that a little bit more, I'd like to actually go backwards a little bit, right? So for the person who, we all struggle with different things in our life, and sometimes, although we might not be like deep in the trenches right now, sometimes we can just have like, a case of the Mondays, right? And something throws a wrench in the week, and we need some kind of inspiration just to pull ourselves, out that day or out that week, just to kind of get us back into the rhythm of things. And so, was there a point in your life where you felt like you were going to give up or wanted to give up? And if so, how did you pull yourself out of that?
Yeah, so it was a few years ago. I'd been going through a lot with my mom as an aging parent. Becoming a parent to a parent was really difficult. A lot of change in my career, as well as going through a second on marriage that was not physically abusive, but was mentally and financially a really bad situation.
Wow.
And I just lost my sense of why, my sense of purpose, and just kept spinning. And during that time, I took a step back from my incredible career and went out on my own, which is great. Got time to spend with my mom and help her. But I was lost. I lost my self identity. And my first marriage, I lost my self identity in that abusive marriage and I had to rebuild. So here I am many years later going, why is this happening again? Why do I have to rebuild? And I have this practice, Kate, of every year, I don't do it in January, I do it around my birthday. So in September, I go to the beach and I sit there and I really anchor in and look at all of the accomplishments I had the year before and celebrate them and sit there and go, wow, I did this, right? I get to do this. And I also take some journals from previous years. I just pick whatever years. And I look back at how far I've come, what I accomplished then, but also the lessons, right? And I look for something, look for if there's anything identical. And at this particular point, I lost. I was lost. I was angry. I'm like, why is this same lesson happening to me? And as I sat there, I couldn't understand it. And
Mhm.
I was on the beach, it was just myself. The water was sparkling, like the sun was like dropping diamonds and they were jumping out of the water. And I looked to the right and there it was. It was the lifeguard stand. And I was not listening to the lifeguard in life. I was not present enough in the moment, in the season, in that particular second to really embrace and receive the sign and the red flag from the universe, from friends, from mentors, because I was so distracted. And it's so important that when you are going through this, that as hard as it is, that you stay focused and present in the moment. The season's going to change. It's constantly going to change. It's really difficult. Yes. But just believe and take one small step, and that will change
Mm.
it.
I love that so much. I'm like hanging on your every word and I'm like, I want to take notes, but I want to stay with you in the story. I'm like, you probably feel that way if you're listening too. I'm like so in it, but wait, hold on. You had said a couple good things I want to make sure I don't forget. And I'm just the type of person now, I will just admit it to everyone that if I do not write it down, it may escape me within the next 10 minutes. So
Same
if you see me writing, that's why.
here.
So I do want to ask you because you're just such a brilliant mentor and coach, and even with the introduction, I introduce you, as a keynote speaker that really makes an impact, and I believe you do that through your teachings. And so you're teaching us about this one small step, and you also brought us high level, which is, to do this practice each year. If you do it once a year, whenever you do it, it sounds like it's perfect, but it's really the practice that's the most important thing. So I want to kind of go in between Is it something on a daily basis that you do to stay resilient, to stay in that place of being able to take those steps? Like, how do we get from, this once a year, remember who you are, if you will, and this take that step and get yourself closer to believing and to the possibilities that await you, right? Like, what's in the middle of that for you? Are there any techniques or tips that you might be able to share with us that you personally do?
Absolutely. So I have a very rigid morning routine. I get up early, I spend time, I, write down what I'm grateful for. I look and set my intentions for the day to really set myself and be present in what I want to focus on for the day. I also do some visionary work, like out into the future. What am I visioning? Where do I want to go in life? How do I want to impact people around the globe? And then I just journal for a little bit and meditate. And
Mm.
that really sets me up for the day, no matter how hard yesterday was. Yesterday's gone, so we can't think about yesterday. We just got to move forward and take any lesson that we might have learned and move forward. And I write those lessons down, but I also put down what I call, you know, little winks along the way, right? Little successes or little signs along the way that you're on the right track, that everyone believes in a different higher source, right? And different things. And like what signs came through the day to say, you are loved, you are worthy, you're on the right track. And so if I'm really present, I can actually really capture that. And that helps each day to move forward. And then during the day, when things get really, really difficult, I stop, I pause, and I align myself with my checkpoint. And that is one of my secret sauces, to be aligned with your checkpoint. As real quick, as kids, we'd go to the beach. My parents would set up this beautiful beach chair, lots of colors. And they're like, go play in the water. But if you're not in front of this beach chair, you need to get out, come back down, and get realigned with that beach chair, because the undercurrents, right? Those distractions pulled you away, right? Same thing in life. We've got a lot of distractions here, and they can pull you away, and you don't want to get sucked into a funnel, a spinning funnel. You want to get out because you want to keep changing the seasons.
Mhm.
And so, same thing in life. You got to be aligned with your checkpoint, who you are, what you believe in, and what you value. And when you start to go in life and something happens during the day, and it's like, this doesn't feel right, this isn't me, I'm not comfortable, I'm starting to go and get distracted by those undercurrents. It's time to
Mhm.
take that pause and go, wait a second, am I aligned with my checkpoint?
Yes. Beautiful tip.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful tip. Okay, so that is a beautiful, beautiful place to now say, when you have, taken your time to assess your year, when you have set your checkpoint and you can make sure you're realigning your focus, and then because you understand your focus and your checkpoint, you're able to take these small steps forward. And now, based on what you're sharing with us, these amazing techniques and tips, we're in a position where we can begin to believe beyond, right, Erin? And so what has happened? I want you to brag on yourself a little bit right now, okay? And so I want you to tell us a little bit about what has unfolded in your own life when you have positioned yourself to be in that space of believing beyond.
Oh, it's amazing. I have the chills just thinking about it. Uh, and I mentioned before, I'm not supposed to be here, right?
Mm,
I've come a really long way, because I had a little bit of belief. I knew my story
mm,
wasn't supposed to end.
mm,
And when I look back, things come to you in different ways. During, the global pandemic, struggling to look for a job, get back in corporate, and really find my identity again and get back out there. I was asked to be on 60 Minutes and I shared my story. But what's so ironic is that I grew up learning and really believing, don't let anyone see you down. So you're not supposed to share your story. But when I did, it was so
mm,
pivotal that people I didn't know reached out and said, thank you for that inspiration. Thank you for the hope. I have the same background. I'm struggling. You're not the only one that's struggling.
mm,
There's so many people are struggling, and we're all worthy to be here. We're worthy of love, respect, the job we want, the career we want, the life we want. But you have to believe. And
mm,
then it just bounced from there. I wrote my first story in Women Who Dream and then proceeded three other books, a TEDx speaker. I've traveled internationally to speak at events, as well as across the United States. And it has been absolutely amazing. And it's not just that personal journey, it's that career journey, professional journey as well. All of these techniques, right? And seasons change in your personal life and your professional life. And
Mm.
I never thought that I would write. And, I'll let you in on a little secret. I didn't pass freshman English. It was a challenge for me. And here I am now writing stories to inspire, make an impact around the globe. But also, I have the same message where, life is like the beach. We need to learn that as kids and keep that going, not find it when we're an adult. So I'm excited to share that I'll have a children's book coming out, a magical beach adventure, because it's so important that we hit all ages. It's not just one age group that's struggling. We're struggling across the board. The world has changed, and it's time that we come back together for connections, for helping each other, and getting back to our checkpoint, truly who we are.
I love that you are taking this message of worthiness, believing in yourself, and you are not only sharing it, with those, right, in your peer influence, right? But you are saying this is for all ages. And I'm even writing a book now to translate these messages to children, right? So we can really, truly touch people wherever they are, meet them where they're at. This is amazing. So how can people work with you, Erin, or learn more about these amazing stories and teachings that you've shared with us today?
Yes, absolutely. I'm on all social media platforms. It's Erin A. McCahill, MBA, across all platforms. Reach out to me through my website, McCahillCollective.com, or shoot me an email at Erin@McCahillCollective.com. I am here. I am ready to make an impact, continue to make that impact in the world. And we can do this all together. And you know what? It's more fun to be in a stormy, rainy storm, right? Thunder, lightning, and stuff with friends than all alone.
Hmm. And so, if someone were to say, okay, well, if you would recommend one place for me to start with you, where would that be?
Let's get on a quick call, see where you're at, do a
Hmm.
quick assessment, and then we can go from there. But what I've have today, Kate, for everyone out there, it's just that very first step of aligning with your checkpoint. It's a bonus gift out there for everyone because let's not wait. Let's get started, and then let's link arms and let's make changes.
As you know, this podcast is also about revealing life's best kept secrets. So, Erin, what is the best piece of advice someone has given you?
Live life to the fullest and be super present in every second because there are signs along the way in every second. So be fully present and live it to its fullest.
I love that. I'm going to take that today. I'm writing it down as soon as we're done so I don't forget. Erin, this has been absolutely amazing. I think, what I said in the beginning with your introduction, I will just bring full circle, back into as we wrap up our conversation here. But I really believe that we all have something to learn from one another, to teach one another. And I think it is such a special time that we are being able to connect with people all across the globe so easily through things like email and social media. And, it's the internet has made our world so small. And I think that is such a beautiful thing to be able to connect with people in such an easy way, to be able to say, I can connect with Erin with an email. I can reach out to her and get into her audience and into her world on social media. And I can just see, what do I have to learn from Erin? I could maybe take away one thing. I could maybe engage in multiple programs. I could say, I would like Erin to come to my organization and do a training for my employees or come and speak at a keynote. There's so many different ways that we can just add value in each other's lives. And I love that it's just so easy to connect right now to really see what is possible when we believe together, when we believe beyond, what can happen when we all really connect with people who are like-minded and really believe that we're worthy of being here and doing more for the impact in the world. So, Erin, thank you for spreading that message today with our audience and for all of us, right? What a gift to be able to connect with each other in that way. That is what this podcast is all about highlighting and featuring amazing human beings who are out there really making a difference in the world and giving everyone an opportunity to say, hey, how can we all connect in together? So thank you for adding value to that today, Erin. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for all of our listeners out there and everyone that joins your podcast, Kate. Thank you so much.
And thank all of you so much for joining this episode. We are so happy that you are here. We hope you found inspiration and value with Erin McCahill today. I know that I certainly have, and we will see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I would love to connect with you on social, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Kate Butler Books. If you're interested in accessing some life-changing tools and techniques, you can grab those right off of the homepage of my website for free, and that is katebutlerbooks.com. And you can always check back here to download new episodes from our podcast right here where you listen today. Until next time, thank you for making this world a better place just by being you.